Coming up on Citrus TV News Live at 6, a student demonstration on the Syracuse University quad this morning. Find out the cause these students were standing up for.
And the first and only vice presidential debate will be tonight. Tim Kaine and Mike Pence will be facing off on a variety of issues. Coming up later.
And a popular American vehicle is under investigation for problems. Find out if your vehicle is affected and how to solve the issues. Citrus TV News starts right now.
From the Citrus TV studios, this is Citrus TV News Live at 6, your campus news leader.
Good evening and welcome to Citrus TV News Live at 6. I'm Jamie Weiss.
And I'm Rob Romano. The SU Department of Public Safety held a press conference today to address reported clown sightings near the SU campus. That's our top story tonight. SU DPS held a press conference today after multiple calls reporting clowns on campus yesterday night.
That's right. The sightings are the latest in a string of creepy clown reports across the nation.
DPS says none of the reports were able to be confirmed.
And DPS released this statement saying, quote, "All were investigated. No evidence of crime was uncovered. No one dressed in such costumes were found by responding officers, nor was there any video of such persons. Officers also gave advice on what to do if you spot a clown on campus. Here's what they had to say.
This is not uncommon. This is pretty consistent with what's been happening across the country. In most cases, these are they're pranks when people are wearing a clown costume around the country, and certainly in many cases they're false reports. People might have thought they saw something that they didn't see, or some of these reports are actually intended as pranks.
While DPS was unable to confirm any reports, nor did any of the officers on patrol see any clowns, Citrus TV spoke with SU junior Eunice Pack after she says she saw two clowns on the corner of Ackerman and Stratford around 11:30 this morning.
When I looked towards Stratford, I saw two clowns kind of like in the street, but also on the sidewalk. It looked like they were kind of walking out of like a house, and they were just standing there. One of them had an all-painted white face and was wearing like a blue clown hat. I don't remember what the other one was wearing, but they were both very like colorfully dressed from the neck down in what I believe to be clown clothes. And then once I saw them, I just took off and ran towards campus on Euclid.
And if you see any clowns, you should report it to DPS or the Syracuse police.
The SU quad became home to a demonstration focused on the issue of sexual assault today. According to a flyer being passed around by participants, the demonstration is due in part to the ongoing investigation Title IX has against SU. The demonstration involved mattresses like the one at Columbia University that made national headlines years ago. The demonstration was silent and encouraged anyone interested to participate. It primarily focused on sitting or standing in solidarity with the survivors of sexual assault. The flyer read, quote, "If you are uncomfortable with our grief and anger, we are glad it is not something you must confront every day." And, quote, "Survivors, we acknowledge you and your pain. You are not alone." And the first week of October means holiday season is right around the corner. For some Central New York residents, that's a good thing when looking for a job. Citrus TV's Matt Ryle discovers how holiday cheer might earn people some holiday cash.
As the fall season is starting to show up, so are some job opportunities in Central New York. FedEx in Syracuse announced Monday that they are looking to hire 200 new seasonal workers for the upcoming holiday months. The shipping company is one of many big businesses in the area looking for the extra help. Experts say that's good news for the local economy.
Well, for a few months we have increased employment and increased jobs and increased income. Whether it be hiring new people for a temporary period of time or extending the hours of existing labor.
Now, FedEx and other large companies aren't the only ones in the area that are bulking up for the holiday season. Walt Hobby Town right behind me is just one of many small local businesses that are doing the exact same thing.
Basically, it's going to be if a guy's normally getting 4 to 6 hours a week, he's probably going to double or triple that. Because once you get to the middle of December, the floodgates literally open and people just start streaming in because you can't get it online, or oh my gosh, I got to buy holiday gifts, whatever. So we always try to have more people on staff every hour we're open.
Now, the bad news when it comes to seasonal employment, most of the time the jobs don't turn into permanent ones.
Well, I was just looking at the unemployment rate data for Syracuse, and it shows a big spike upwards in January. So that's a sign that these are temporary employees hired for the holiday season, but in January they get laid off.
But for now, we might see some open positions for the busiest shopping time of the year. Matt Ryle, Citrus TV.
Thanks, Matt. 3 people are in custody after a vigilant neighbor called police. The neighbor reported seeing a man with a gun in a vehicle. Syracuse police officers drove to the scene late Sunday night. Inside a vehicle, they found a loaded semi-automatic handgun and over 2 grams of crack cocaine. The men inside, Alex Carrasquillo and Christopher Valerio, face multiple charges for possession of a controlled substance. Another man, Wilberto Hernandez Colon, was charged with second-degree criminal possession of a weapon. And a 16-year-old is dead after a car crash on I-81 near Cicero yesterday. Sean Jewett, passenger of the car, was pronounced dead at SUNY Upstate Medical. The driver, Cameron Evans, is currently in critical condition. Police say Evans was driving north when he crossed the median and hit oncoming traffic. 3 cars were involved in the crash. The crash ultimately blocked off traffic for about 2 hours. And coming up on Citrus TV News, live at 6, what you need to know about tonight's vice presidential debate.
And an update to Facebook that'll change the way you message friends. Stay with us.
And Hurricane Matthew slammed Haiti today, made a turn, is now hitting Cuba, going up the East Coast. When will it hit us and when can you expect that rain? Stay with us after the break. I'll tell you just that. Got a quarter?
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
And welcome back to Citrus TV News. Vice presidential candidates Tim Kaine and Mike Pence will face off tonight.
They'll participate in the only vice presidential debate of the 2016 race. It comes just over 1 week after the first presidential debate between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton.
And the debate will be held at Longwood University in Virginia. It begins at 9 tonight and will be moderated by Elaine Quijano of CBS News.
According to the International Monetary Fund, America's growth is forecast to be pretty slim this year.
Now, the IMF says the country's output will expand by only 1.6%. Now, that's more than half a percentage less than what they expected in July.
The IMF says this is the biggest decline for a developed nation. The IMF blames this on a weak business investment and slim inventories.
And 2 homes were destroyed in New Jersey today after an alleged gas explosion. Take a look at these aerial shots. The homes gone.
It happened this morning in Paterson, New Jersey, which is a suburb of New York City. Firefighters responded after reports of a gas odor from one of the homes.
When they arrived, they knew what caused the blast.
companies got on scene, they could hear the gas. They could hear the gas hissing out.
All residents of the house have been accounted for and did not suffer any injuries. The firefighters involved also didn't report any injuries, but were taken to the hospital as a precautionary measure.
And President of the Philippines, Rodrigo Duterte, is back voicing his opinions of the U.S.
He told the Philippine Jewish community at a Rosh Hashanah event last night that he's rethinking his alliance with the U.S.
The U.S. has been a longtime ally of the Philippines. Here's what he had to say.
I will be reconfiguring my foreign policy. Eventually, I might, in my time, I will break up with America. I would rather go to Russia and to China.
And the situation in Aleppo continues to worsen as Syrian forces sustain their assault on the city.
The city has been a primary focus for attacks and fighting during the Syrian civil war.
That's right. The political climate has changed dramatically in these areas since the collapse of the U.S.-Russian ceasefire.
The United States on Monday suspended talks with Russia over the conflict in Syria, accusing the Kremlin of joining the Syrian Air Force in carrying out brutal bombings in Aleppo.
Tensions between the United States and Russia escalated today.
UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon stated that he wants the U.S. and Russia to begin negotiating again.
Secretary of State John Kerry commented on the negotiation attempts, saying, quote, "People who are serious about making peace don't behave as Russia has."
Kerry also says, quote, "With or without Russian help, the U.S. will continue to battle against the Islamic State."
I think everybody's patience with Russia has run out. They've also spent a great deal of credibility in making a series of commitments without any clear indication that they were committed to following them.
And a young girl in Aleppo is giving the world a glimpse into her daily reality.
7-year-old Bana lives in Aleppo. She and her mother set up a Twitter account 2 weeks ago, tweeting out pictures and videos showing the destruction in the city.
The account allows for the rest of the world to see Aleppo through the eyes of a young girl who has grown up surrounded by the fighting.
And today is the 10th anniversary of WikiLeaks. Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks, said today that the organization would publish documents relating to the U.S. presidential election.
And it's unclear what those documents will reveal or when they'll be released. And the British pound continues to plummet after this summer's Brexit vote.
That's right, the British pound has fallen to $1.27, lower than it was right after the EU referendum in June.
Europe warned Britain that if they do not allow the free movement of European Union citizens, it will lose rights to access the free trade area.
Investors fear that British exporters will have trouble competing and that banks will be having issues doing business freely in Europe.
And British Prime Minister Theresa May says that she would refuse to prioritize the financial services industry and rather put Britain's borders first.
Pope Francis made a surprise visit to Amatrice, the Italian town that was devastated by an earthquake back in August.
Large crowds gathered Tuesday as the pontiff met with children, survivors, and relatives of the victims.
The Pope wanted to keep the meeting private in order to be closer to those affected. The magnitude 6.2 earthquake killed nearly 300 people.
And 3 British physicists are now Nobel Prize winners. David Thewlis, Duncan Haldane, and Michael Kosterlitz were announced as winners of the Nobel Prize for Physics.
They won for overturning the theory that superconductivity could not occur in thin layers. The 3 will split the monetary prize, which equals slightly under $1 million.
And Hurricane Matthew made landfall in Haiti earlier today. The Category 4 storm has winds of 145 miles per hour and brings with it torrential rain that caused major flooding and damages throughout Haiti.
Matthew has already been responsible for the deaths of 8 people and is projected to strike the Bahamas tonight with winds approaching 130 miles per hour.
It will then move onto the east coast of Florida, Georgia, and the Carolinas over the next few days. The projected path is something that's still up in the air. President Obama canceled a trip to Florida this week because of the hurricane's expected landfall. And Hurricane Matthew is expected to hit the southern Atlantic coast. But today was pretty warm and dry here in Syracuse.
That's right. Our very own Nicole Dementri is here in studio, and hopefully we'll be able to keep this warm weather.
Yeah, Jamie, I hope so too, because right now it's 67 degrees. all of central New York was feeling in the low 70s today. Now, if you look towards Binghamton or Cortland, you're seeing actually in the low 60s right now, so pretty nice for a fall October day. But if we look into the radar, the future radar that's happening tonight, we are absolutely seeing nothing going on. It's going to be absolutely beautiful tonight into mid-afternoon tomorrow. You shouldn't see any clouds or rain. It should be pretty nice. Now, moving into tonight, however, it will be pretty cloudy. Low 50s, 52 degrees, so a little chilly. Take out that jacket if you're going to go out tonight. Again, we're going closer to shorter days, so that sunset is going to go around 6:39 tonight. So again, just be used to getting dark a little bit early. Not that high a wind, so it's going to be pretty still out tonight. Now, tomorrow when you wake up around 9 a.m., 57 degrees. We're going to go all the way up to a high, though, of 73 degrees. So it's going to be pretty nice, mostly sunny. Again, slight winds. And sunrise at 7:07 a.m., so it's going to warm up throughout the day. Bring that jacket and shed it as you go to class. Now, moving on to Hurricane Matthew, as most of us were talking about. It hit Haiti today. It's going on to Cuba. Throughout the week, it'll move up the coast, up the East Coast. When will we see it here in New York and in Syracuse? Probably around late Saturday night, early Sunday morning. We will only see rain here, maybe some wind. We shouldn't get that big of an impact here itself. Now, moving into the future 5-day forecast, we're seeing, like I said, tomorrow, pretty nice day, 73 degrees, some clouds here and there. Thursday, absolutely beautiful. Thursday and Friday, actually, just complete sunshine, barely any clouds, and we're going to move all the way up to 77 degrees Friday. Take a little dip on Saturday, 69. That's when you'll see some of the effects of Hurricane Matthew. It's going to rain pretty much all day, clear up for Sunday, and it's going to be a chilly one with only a high of 57 degrees.
Well, Nicole, you mentioned we're only going to be getting rain because of Hurricane Matthew. Is there a chance we might see some snow in that mix?
You know, some affiliates are reporting that there will be snow Sunday night if it gets cold, but right now, if you're looking at the models, that really should only stay up in upstate near Lake Ontario. We shouldn't feel the effects here, but never say never, especially here in Syracuse.
You're very right. Thank you so much,
Thank
Nicole.
you.
Wow, the snow, that could be something else, especially this time of year.
Exactly.
And coming up on Citrus TV News, Facebook has a new feature.
And we have the latest on an old lawsuit between Apple and Samsung. Don't go anywhere.
Looking for these? You drive buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
And welcome back to Citrus TV News. Facebook introduced a new section to its website called Marketplace. The new feature lets users browse items for sale that are near their location. Each listing includes a picture of the item, a description of the quality, and an asking price. Marketplace also lets interested buyers message the sellers to make offers, as well as arrange for pickup or drop-off of the sale items. The new feature is a Craigslist or eBay-like addition to the social media site. And need to fly but short on cash, Southwest Airlines has you covered. The airline started its blockbuster sale today. The 72-hour sale features prices starting at $49 for a one-way trip. The sale only covers certain domestic routes in November through March, but unlike years past, they're 7 days per week. The sale ends October 6th at midnight. And JCPenney is offering refunds to customers who were sold knockoff products. The towels and bedding sets were sold by a company known as Wellspun India. They were sold as being made of Egyptian cotton, but they were actually made of other types of cotton, which were cheaper and of lower quality. Rival retailer Target pulled those products after the news was first announced in August. And the Supreme Court agreed to review the ongoing case between technology giants Apple and Samsung. The case is on a patent dispute from 2012 where Samsung infringed 6 Apple patents and paid Apple $1 billion. Since then, the damages have been brought down to over $500 million. Samsung is unsure whether or not they will need to pay the full amount.
America's best-selling vehicle is under investigation for brake problems. About 282,000 Ford F-150 trucks are involved. The National Highway Traffic Administration says it's received complaints that the truck's brakes can suddenly stop working. It's apparently happened for 2015 and 2016 models, and no injuries have been reported. Sears, one of the nation's largest retailers, is in serious financial trouble. The department store stock has fallen 35% this year. Some analysis say that Sears will have to shut down Kmart, one of its largest subsidiaries. Sears CEO Eddie Lampert says that there are no plans to close all Walmart stores. However, some stores have been closed because they're not as profitable. If you love Dancing with the Stars, you're in for a treat. The Dancing with the Stars live show is coming to Turning Stone Casino and Resort in Verona, New York this January. The tour will include some of the show's most famous veterans, such as Lindsay Arnold and Sharna Burgess, as well as surprise special guests. Tickets are now on sale at Ticketmaster and the Turning Stone box office, starting at $44. And Airbnb kicked off a competition that awards 4 lucky guests the chance to spend the night in the famous Abbey Road studios. The Beatles recorded in the studios from 1962 until 1970. Pink Floyd and Adele have also recorded there, as well as the creators of the Star Wars and Lord of the Rings soundtrack. Grammy Award producer Mark Ronson, best known for his hit Uptown Funk, will host the guest overnight.
All right, coming up on sports, we head to the pitch where SU men's soccer looks for a win in the state's capital. Plus, we get you ready for tonight's AL wildcard matchup and a big win for Maria Sharapova in a different court. Citrus TV will be back in 2 minutes.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes, B, console her,
don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
They said I have troll teeth.
That my voice sounded like a possessed baby doll.
That no one would ever love someone as stupid as me.
That I was fat, ugly.
Disgusting.
The effect of bullying is potent.
We will no longer be the silent majority.
Now, when you see online bullying, there's something you can do about it.
We're gonna take action with the I.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness.
I am a witness, and so are you.
Men's soccer takes its talents to the state capitol. I'm Kevin Ryans. Ian McIntyre's squad begins a stretch of 4 games in the next 5 matches when it takes on Albany. The Orange comes into today's game off a 0-0 tie against North Carolina, which helped them remain number 5 in the latest RPI. The Cuse leads the all-time series against the Great Danes at 7-1-1. SU has beaten Albany each of the last 4 times the teams have met. Game time is slated for 7 p.m. Meanwhile, the Orange field hockey team held on to its number 4 ranking this week after a weekend sweep. This ensures there will be a top 5 matchup at J.S. Coyne Stadium Friday when number 2 Duke comes to SU. This is the 94th straight week Syracuse has been ranked in the polls, including 22 straight inside the top 10. UConn received the number 1 spot in this week's rankings with 952 points. SU's game with Duke is Friday at 5 p.m. Switching gears to football, after a blowout loss to Notre Dame, Syracuse now moves on to its next opponent, Wake Forest. The Cuse began practice this week as it looks to get back in the win column against an ACC foe. Cuse head coach Dino Babers wants his players to realize that in order to get that win, you have to respect the process.
I think the main thing is the process. The process is there's certain things that you have to do. If you do those things, you're going to give yourself an opportunity to win. They need to stay locked in on the process and not get caught up on what the scoreboard is or get caught up on what other people are doing around them. Those are the things they need to lock in on. And I'd be surprised to see, you say that all these guys were winning out of high school. It'd be interesting to see how many of them really were. I mean, there's people that get recruited off of losing football teams just like they do winning football teams.
Staying on the gridiron, today the Baltimore Ravens announced they are parting ways with running back Justin Forsett. The 31-year-old, who has been less effective the last couple of seasons due to injury, only had 31 carries for 98 yards this season. The running back said today, quote, "I felt like my opportunity here was closing," end quote. Forsett's 2016 salary is already guaranteed with the Ravens, so it might not be a bad deal for the running back if he signs with another team this season. On to tennis, 2 Syracuse tennis players are competing in the Riviera ITA All-American Championships this afternoon. Orange Stars Gabriela Knudsen and Valeria Salazar played single matches today. Thursday, the ranked tennis players are slated to compete in the doubles portion of the tournament. Knudsen, Salazar, and grad student Anish Kadun were the first Syracuse players since 1996 to compete at the NCAA Individual Championships last spring. The trio also led the team to the NCAA tournament for the first time in program history. Elsewhere, women's tennis star Maria Sharapova has won her appeal for the arbitration of sport, reducing the International Federation ban from 2 years to 15 months. The former world #1 is now eligible to resume her career in April 2017. Originally, Sharapova was banned until January 2018 for testing positive for meldonium earlier this year. Finally, Toronto is assigned for the AL wildcard matchup between the Orioles and the Blue Jays. These two slugging teams are very similar with each other as division rivals, meeting each other 19 times this season. On the bump tonight for the O's is a 16-game winner Chris Tillman, and Marcus Stroman gets the ball for Toronto. Winner gets the chance to play in the division series between the Texas Rangers. So, guys, that game is going to be quite something with these two slugging it out in Toronto tonight.
Definitely so close in that win and lost column. So it's definitely going to be a close one. Thanks so much, Kevin.
I'll be rooting for those Rangers. Coming up, find out which National Food Day you should be celebrating tonight.
Stay with us.
Every time I...
Now, Rob, every week is Taco Tuesday in my book, but this week, Taco Tuesday happens to fall on National Taco Day. Mexican food chain Chipotle is celebrating by releasing a brand new item on the menu today, chorizo.
Yum. Chipotle started serving the spicy sauces this summer in a few locations, including San Diego and New York City, but rolled out the meat to stores nationwide today. Chipotle said their chorizo will be made with chicken, pork, spices, and peppers. Sounds fantastic.
I know. I'm really excited for it.
Definitely. That's all the time we have here for Citrus TV News. Be sure to like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. I'm Rob Romano.
And I'm Jamie Weiss. Thank you so much for watching, and have a great night, Syracuse.